Together, these world-leading technology giants are announcing the formation of Stargate. So put that name down in your books, because I think you're going to hear a lot about it in the future.
One day after his inauguration, President Trump announced Stargate. It's a partnership between some of the biggest names in artificial intelligence and a $500 billion bet on its future. The CEOs of OpenAI, SoftBank, and Oracle call it the largest AI infrastructure project in history. We're already seeing the vision come to fruition with Bloomberg's first look inside construction of the sprawling center in Texas. So let's...
Welcome to Abilene, Texas. This is the site of Project Stargate, a very, very mysterious, much talked about, much speculated about project.
Why call it Stargate?
It began as a code name, and sometimes code names stick.
Hey, Emily.
Thank you so much for having us.
Welcome to Abilene.
It's so awesome to be here.
Yeah.
How many people are on this site?
Today we have about 2,200 people on site.
If it all comes together, this is going to be one of the most massive infrastructure projects in American history.
This was just a complete barren field.
So
right?
there was nothing here in June?
There were a bunch of mesquite trees and bushes and brush. And today we have almost 1 million square feet of fully developed building that's going to be energizing large-scale GPU clusters in the coming weeks and months.
Building after building on this red dirt behind me will be filled with chips that'll power the AI revolution. If you're using ChatGPT somewhere out there, there's a good chance it'll be powered by data centers that are being built right here. There have been no pictures, no cameras allowed inside until now. So we are going to give you your first look.
The velocity of innovation here is just mind-blowing. What I saw rising from the red dirt in Abilene, how do you personally grapple with the pace of it all?
We are definitely doing something unprecedented. I believe AI will help dramatically accelerate the pace of science and human discovery and our understanding of what's possible.
All right, my first word is wow. And looking at that inside look, joining us live now is Emily Chang, host and executive producer for Bloomberg Originals. You know, like you said in that video, I think you used adjectives like astounding, and the way this is growing is unbelievable. So you got that inside look. What was that like?
Oh my gosh, astounding is an excellent word for it. I mean, covering technology for so long, you don't get to see a lot of really visual stories.
Right.
I mean, excavators, cranes, moving lots and lots of red dirt. And keep in mind, this project, they only broke ground a year ago. They've already got 8 AI data centers that they are building. A couple of those buildings are already hard at work powering OpenAI.
Right.
So it is just a massive, massive project. It's hard to overstate it.
So on top of that, Google has actually agreed to scale back power consumption at its AI data centers, kind of ease the strain on the grid during times of demand. So help us kind of map out how that works, how much they're going to use, how much it's going to demand.
So look, there's obviously huge concerns about how much power these AI data centers are going to use. Google, as you mentioned, has cut a couple of deals with a couple of power companies across the country saying, hey, if there's a surge in demand, we won't use as much, if you will. With Stargate in particular in Abilene, and we talked to folks both at Stargate and at the city, they feel pretty good about the deal that they've struck. Stargate has a backup gas power plant that will kick in if there's a blackout, for example, and they can't get the electricity or the power that they need. But this is a huge, huge question. You know, we're talking about 1 gigawatt powers a nuclear reactor or 750,000 homes.
Right.
Here, they're looking at building almost 6 gigawatts of power. So it's just an incredible amount of power just at this one facility.
Right.
And they're wanting to build these around the world.
All right, I want to get to some news that just happened, newly released information today from OpenAI. They just announced they're going to freely share 2 of their AI models used to power their online chat box. So tell us what you think about that. How are they making them?
This is OpenAI taking a page out of the Meta and the Mark Zuckerberg playbook. I actually interviewed Mark Zuckerberg about this, and Meta, from the beginning has open sourced their AI models. It's a controversial decision, but the sort of reasoning is the more people who are using your stuff or building on top of your stuff, the more they're committed and locked into using their models. So it's just another way that OpenAI is trying to control the next technology wave, just like Mark Zuckerberg is doing, just like DeepSeek in China is trying to do as well.
I feel like, just from an outsider, this is moving fast, and you can probably answer that in a second. Because another question is, we hear a lot these days about AI taking people's jobs. Hello. So you recently interviewed the CEO of Crusoe, Lockmiller, is that correct? They build and power data centers, among other things, and he has a different take on it. Let's take a listen.
You know, as people focus often on, wow, AI is going to eliminate all these jobs, I'm sort of sitting at the other end of the spectrum of like, I can't hire enough people. There like simply aren't enough, blue collar trades, trained workers to basically support the demand we're seeing from the market. So I really believe that this is one of the greatest labor booms that we've ever seen as a U.S. economy.
All right, I'm going to hold on to that interview because he's basically saying we can see that it takes a lot of people to build data centers. So there will be jobs that are still needed. We'll need those blue-collar workers to help with that. So that was his take. Agree?
Well, I mean, gosh, how many jobs AI is going to create or destroy? That's anyone's guess. I certainly can't answer that question.
Yeah.
As far as these data centers are concerned, I mean, at Stargate in particular, there's 4,000 people building these data centers. But the question is, how many real full-time jobs is that going to create? I think they've agreed with the city they have to create at least 300 or so. It might be as high as 1,000. So yes, there will be new jobs created. How many jobs are lost? How many jobs, new jobs there are? Obviously is the bigger question that we're all grappling with.
Yeah. I appreciate all of your insight, and what a rare look to be able to go there and see it firsthand.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. And
yeah,
obviously it's really exciting, but certainly still a lot of questions surrounding these projects.
Absolutely. Emily Chang, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, tune in. The first half of season 3 of The Circuit with Emily Chang is available on Bloomberg Originals and Bloomberg.com. More episodes from this season will premiere later this fall.